So Jimmy, I know you're like a musicologist. Um,
Yeah. I
but
like
are you
music.
like all one kind of music or what?
No, I'm actually no, right now on my wall I have like hip hop, I have psychedelic music, I got reggae, like I like
Uh-huh.
everything. Yeah, I like everything.
Cool.
I like
How
most
about
everything.
yeah,
Yeah. There's a
you do?
couple things
I
that
don't like modern country. I can say that definitively.
I don't like
Modern country
country.
music right now is fucking
I like
trash.
It's so
everything
bad.
but country.
Yeah, literally anything but country, except for Dolly Parton because she's a national treasure, and I
Yeah.
will die on that
But
hill.
yeah, but she still does her like old style. Like she's not like I'm talking about like modern country, like just the shit you would hear, I guess, if you turn on a country station right now.
Which I wouldn't do.
Which why are there so many in Connecticut? Oh my God. Are we gonna lose listeners? Are you putting this on the show?
Uh, yeah, I think this could go on the show. Lee, how do you weigh in on this music question?
I'm with Jimmy on the country.
Yes.
I don't know,
Okay.
like I was, what was that song? Like Fast Cars that was just playing. I'm like, who is this? Like, I was
Why
listening
did
to this in college. Like,
right? Why did they remake that?
And why
I
would
have
you
no like,
like the original was good? Like, why
Yes.
fuck
it
it
was
up?
so
Yeah.
good. Like, how,
I grew up listening to 1050 WHN, country western
AM radio?
AM radio.
That's AM
Yeah, in
radio.
New Jersey.
Now
And
AM radio is all politics and religion, right?
it was Loretta
And
Lynn,
sports.
Dolly Parton, uh, Waylon and Willie and the boys,
I
it
actually
was,
saw Dolly Parton in concert.
did you?
Yeah. Yep. Kenny
Huh.
Rogers. It was like a big thing. Yeah.
And my dad played country music. He used to, when my parents got divorced, he moved out of the house and lived above a bar that was a country western bar, and he would play in the bar. And
Okay.
so, he would do that, and would record and send it into the radio station, trying to win, get famous, and all that stuff. But I like lots of music. Are you guys good at identifying music?
Yeah.
No.
Sometimes it's hard though, because there's
It depends.
so many
If you give
different.
me at least 3 seconds, I could probably get a lot of songs.
Okay, you
It
ready?
depends on what it is.
I'm good at like I'm really good at pub quiz night because like I have a decent memory, but like I'm also the only one not drinking, so
Okay.
I have access to that memory.
So, Lee, do you have your watch?
this one?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Could you
Like-
time us once? I'm going to play some music here, and
Mine's charging.
okay, yeah, mine has. I only have 7%, so
Yeah,
the song-
mine barked at me today. It was like, "You plan on training soon?" I was like, "Fucking right."
that's right. So let's see. I want to put everybody to the test here,
Okay.
but I got to make sure Lee. You're still with us here? Okay. All right. Yeah, he's on the phone, so Lee's like
He's plugging in his chorus.
he's probably going to the bathroom now. So here I'm going to play a song. You guys ready?
Yep.
And just tell me, you stop me when you think you know what the song is. Ready?
Mhm.
Beethoven, Mozart, I don't know, Bach, Handel. Rachmaninoff.
Okay, I'm going to stop the music there. And Jimmy had a couple guesses, none of which were correct.
Ravel.
No, any other guesses?
It's not Tchaikovsky.
Stojanovic.
It's embarrassing that I don't know this because like I was a dancer, but yeah, no,
It's
no clue.
Lee. Do you have a guess?
I
Or
have
just
no
take a
idea.
stab at it. There's no shame in it.
Public Enemy.
Amadeus.
Yeah.
Actually,
No, that's
fucking
Flavor
A.
Flav. That's his Flavor Flav's first solo album.
Lee Davis.
But
Shut up. Did he really get it?
Well, sort of.
yeah, okay.
I asked for the name of the song, but he is correct in that it is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Okay.
So, okay, so congratulations, Lee, you got that one. But here's the thing: there's like, as you mentioned, there's so many songs that it's hard to tell them apart, especially classical music.
Yeah.
So years ago, well before our podcast even started, they didn't know how to even name the songs because it was like, so that, it's so difficult because it's like they all sound, not they all sound the same, but like it's hard to put a name to it because, there's no mention of pickup trucks in that song or anything like that. So that's called the March in D major. But it goes beyond that though, because you can't just like name a song. They also had to catalog them. So there was a guy called Ludwig von Kochel, and he cataloged all the works of Mozart. And what he did was that he gave them each a number. And then, so this is actually a march in D major, and then it's K, and they give the initial K to indicate that it's Kochel. And then it's also, with that, it's also, the number is 290.
290.
Just like episode 290 of the Cultra Trail Running Podcast.
From the belly of the Beast Coast, Glastonbury, Connecticut, this is the Cultra Trail Running Podcast. We talk about all the fun shit that happens on the trails that most normal people don't care about. The language we use is fucking explicit and raw like the trails we run on. So don't listen with your kids! Cultra is brought to you by our patrons and supporters, and we are 112% listener supported, and support is good.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to the Cultra Trail Running Podcast. I'm your host, Byram, Art. Oh my God, I started believing my own email. And I got a whole room full of Culture Crew people here. We have Celeste Fong a Ding Dong.
Morning, kids.
We have Jimmy Mack.
What's up, fam?
And then joining us, we have Lee Davis.
Howdy.
And back again is Kim Levinsky from New Jersey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Doing good.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, forget
right.
about it.
Yeah. So what's going on, guys? What's new, Kim? What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? You know, the usual, running, squatching. Got my butt handed to me at Blue to Blue Challenge. So I'm here to tell everybody how easy that race was and how mellow those trails were. They were buttery smooth.
But the sections that were, you get like a little bit, and isn't it like some of the best trail you've ever been on though? Because you were just on like the most bullshit for like a couple minutes. You're like, what is this? Isn't a trail. They're just putting blazes on rocks now. This isn't fun. And then you're like, oh, but look at this little single track for like a 1/10 of a mile. It's the most amazing one ever.
The top of Mad Mare is my favorite.
Top of Mad Mare, yes, it's really
the little house, the house foundation. It's like smooth, like it's like downhill for like quarter mile or something.
Me and my kid have played in there, and we found so much like old metal and broken glass from like it's like 100 years old. Like there's artifacts all over that property.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very good. So so we're gonna talk about a bunch of things today. One is the Blue to Blue Challenge, and that's Jimmy Mack's race.
I got splits too.
What's that?
I got all the splits, so we can nerd out like really hard.
Yeah, we will definitely do that. Like
these
next
were
week.
Soaking wet. Look at them. They're all. I had to dry these out. Like
we're gonna do that next week, Jimmy.
Okay.
Tonight we're primarily here to talk about. We're going to talk about Blue to Blue. We're going to talk. Let's not get into our main event here, but we're going to talk about Rock the Ridge, okay, because that happened. Breakneck Marathon and the Revel White Mountains Marathon also. But before
Art went on Strava to see what all his friends did this weekend. And that's what we're talking about.
No. There was, let's face it, Jimmy, there was only one event that happened this weekend, right? One fucking major event that happened. The race that everybody in the world was tuned into, that had records breaking all over the place with attendance and with all that shit. So, and just amazing coverage. Media was
and that was Breakneck Marathons.
No, I'd
That's
like
where all
to,
the cool kids were.
It's the 150th Kentucky Derby. So we want to thank the people at the Kentucky Derby this weekend.
That was his last weekend?
That's right. Mystic Dan won it. And he was a 17-1. So nobody was picking
some money.
Nobody was picking his shit. Like they went through, they had like all the announcers, and then they had like 20 announcers each give their picks, and they named like probably 6 horses, and like nobody had him in there.
Yeah.
So
I don't think any horses were harmed this year either.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a good thing.
They were what now? Not harmed?
Yeah, within the last year, wasn't it like a fiasco? Like the track was like in
Oh,
disrepair, and they had to like send all the horses up to that farm up north. Like,
Ooh.
jeez, they had to
Did
send him
not
up to
hear that.
Patrick Caron's farm.
I don't think I've watched a horse race in like 20
oh, it
years.
was
Or ever.
the only reason why I know this is like my wife's coworker has like a derby party every year.
Yeah.
And, so they like watch it on the TV, the TV, and
Is that the one
last
where
year
everybody wears a hat?
I was gonna say that's so women can flex on each other with like how dope their hats are. They out like
They're
it's like
fucking
it's like a
hats.
hip hop video. They're all trying to out dope each other with their hats. I love.
They
I've seen the
definitely-
pictures from Kentucky Derby, but I've never watched the horses run.
Yeah, neither have I.
I've watched it a lot only because my company used to be based out of Louisville, so it was a big deal for the people that I work with every year, and I almost went to see it a couple times, but I had like a customer I was going to take. We used to get tickets for the Derby, and you could bring your best customers, and I was going to go one year, and it just didn't happen, but. The year that Little ET won that year, I think. So
Is that where bourbon comes from?
it's where babies come from. So I don't know. I think that Kentucky,
Yeah, Kentucky bourbon.
yeah, and
Right?
Tennessee whiskey. So
Okay, because I did bourbon chase, so I think I've been to Kentucky, but
you blacked
I
out.
don't know.
Could have been Kentucky.
Well, it was a Ragnar, so it's not like I was paying attention to where I
Could have
was.
been stores, right?
They
So-
started at Jim Beam.
Yeah, that's
That-
Kentucky, right?
I don't know.
Tennessee.
It's
All right, I'm
one
gonna
of the
get-
two.
I'm gonna fact check.
we're gonna
Okay.
we're gonna get hate mail for this shit now.
Listen, just because I don't know where I am half the time.
Okay, all right, that's fair. But anyway, let's
what do you
get
do?
into.
If anyone
let's
asked me what I
get
did
into
on
political.
Thursday night, I was be like, I'm started Wikipediaing articles for Art Byram.
You did. Oh, that's your interesting. Yeah. You did all your research on different types of alcohol. Like,
Yeah.
how come I always get all the alcohol categories right on Jeopardy?
It's Claremont, Kentucky.
There you go. That's where I was.
There you go, Claremont, Kentucky.
It was a fun race.
Mhm.
Anyway,
So, Jimmy, tell us about what is just give a description of what the Blue to Blue is, because there may be people who
I kind of want to read the description on the Ultra sign up page because like people are
Okay.
like, I didn't believe you, and then they did it, and they're like, well, fuck you. I think you undersold it, and I was like, what do you want me to say? There's like daggers of death at every ankle break. Like, I tried to make it sound like it was a badass race. Like, so hat tip. I remember like many years ago when I was first dreaming up. If I was going to do, put races on, whatever. And I had a thread going with Andy O and Alex McDaniel. And we were talking about, I was like, it'd be so cool to do something like out of West Rock Playground that like goes up the ridge. And I was like, then it went like, Regicides, maybe like to the Q and maybe towards like Sleeping Giant. Cause then you get to finish in Sleeping Giant or whatever. I was like, oh, but that would be such a logistical nightmare getting across the road crossing, like, that's
yeah.
pretty
Right.
shitty road crossing. And then Andy O was like, dude, just have it go straight out the ridge. And I was like, oh, right. The Regicides goes that way all the way up. He's like, and I'd measured it out. It was like back and forth was like 32.89 miles or whatever. And I was like, cool. None of the 50Ks in this state are actually, 31.04 or whatever. It's 31.07, whatever. So I'm just going to be in tradition with Bimblers and, all of the other courses that you just can't do it. So, all right, here, let me pull up the Ultra sign up page. Like I try to, it's a pretty gnarly, I feel like, I don't know,
It's a
the
50K.
trails here are special. They're really special because they're really, really tough, and it's less trail running than just like, I don't know, just you have to be a good hiker, I think, for some of this stuff. And this is like,
yeah.
so stuff like, this is why I like doing stuff in the Catskills or like the Adirondacks or whatever. Like it's just small. It's just like a smaller version of that terrain, I think. Okay, so here you go on the Ultra sign up page. I'll just read like this course description and then stop. Connecticut's hardest 50K. Race is sold out. This is a 50K that runs more like a 50 miler. This is the hardest 33 miles in the state of Connecticut. You are registering for the wait list. This is how I have to vet you now. Once I see you have a qualifying race, you will then be added. I'm doing this to cut down on DNFs. This challenge has a 79.6% finish rate, which is low for a 50K with a 10-hour cutoff. me see, this 50K plus is a graduate level run, meaning you will be on some of Connecticut's most technical and gnarly trails. First, the Regicides, West Rocks Blue Trail, and then the Quinnipiac Trail, another of Connecticut's famed Blue Blaze trails. Or I just said blue trails. Hence the Blue to Blue Challenge. It is imperative that you have finished at least one trail 50K in the previous 12 months. I will also consider you if you've completed something gnarly like Cat's Tail or Breakneck or the like. This is definitely not a beginner's race. There's a good 6,300 feet of climbing, and the majority of it is extremely technical. So that's pretty much it. I mean, like, I think that's the big scary stuff. But like, does that sound scary enough, or should I put like more stuff in there? Like death by 1,000 paper cuts?
It kind of is. It's just like ankle breaking for miles.
Can I put that in there?
Yeah.
Did anybody break an ankle at the race though? Like, can we back
No,
up
my
that claim?
dumbass breaks my feet where there's no technicality. So
Anyway, and so the first year I put this on, like, I don't know, I just thought it was like a really cool idea, whatever. And logistically, it's super easy to do because it's got the aid stations at like those road crossings. Like, it just kind of worked. Like, I was like, this is actually like a perfect thing to do.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
it's great. So
And then checking in with like the different towns. Like,
now?
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
How long have you been putting this on now?
2019.
2019.
So 2019, it was May. 2020 was supposed to be May. The pandemic pushed it to September. So we did it in September. Then we did it September again in 21.
Mm-hmm.
And I think 22, 23, 24, I think I moved it back to May, right? Yeah, because a lot of people were upset that they only had 6 months to train again for it. And I was like, oh, sorry.
Gotcha.
I mean, you're already
now,
trained.
Yeah, right.
Now, Kim, you came in from New Jersey, right? So how hard, I mean, how you have not run, this was the first time that you had run this, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. And had you ever been to West Rock before or no?
No, this was my first experience on Connecticut trails.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wow.
What an introduction.
Yeah.
I thought, boy, I thought you had been around here. Now, I mean, you've run a lot of places like all around us, like probably the New York border complete.
The long trail. Kim's done some shit. All right.
Yeah.
Do you have Kim's resume?
No, Jimmy, go ahead.
Let me pull that up on the internets here.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
Is there a resume? I don't know.
I'm just gonna go look at your Ultra sign up, and it's like a lot of, you've done some stuff. You've done some stuff that's not on there.
That doesn't really cover it though. But it's so Kim. I kind of want to get like your hot take on it, or what was your day like?
Yeah. Well, I have to say, you read a description like that, and every race director thinks their race is the hardest thing ever. So I read that. I'm like, all right, we'll see. We'll see what's going on out there.
Oh, I got to interrupt you there for just a second. I want to clarify that. That's not exactly true. So every road race director wants to tell you that their course is flat and fast. And every trail race director wants to tell you that theirs is the fucking, the kiss of death.
The top nar.
Yes.
We got t-shirts made that say the top nar.
I think that was definitely an important clarification there.
Yep.
Yes.
Back to you.
Trail race directors, it's the hardest thing ever. But yeah, I mean, I think once we get up on the ridge line, I was like, okay, this is the real deal up here in Connecticut. It was truly, I would compare it to the Catskills take out the big climbs. Like there weren't any real, long 1,000-foot climbs that you could find in the Catskills or the Hudson Highlands. But in terms of like technicality, yeah, it was gnarly once you got up there. And then, we had some spicy weather as well. So that made the rocks pretty slick. I brought my poles, thankfully, but I still went down one time pretty hard. I caught the, that moss that's on the rocks. It just got really slick. But I mean, I loved it. I love that stuff. I mean, that's my jam, is the rocky, stupid things where it looks like a dump truck just dumped a bunch of sharp rocks up on the mountain. So I really enjoyed it. I was chasing cutoffs, to be honest. And I was I was 9 minutes over the cutoff for the turnaround point. And I had already resigned myself, like, okay, that's it. I got my ass kicked and I'm going to go home. And then Jimmy and all the volunteers are like, "Oh, you're smiling. You're not getting cut. You got to stay in this." So
No, but I'm hurting. Like, come on, look at this. I'm sweating. I mean, oh, yeah. Sometimes you want it. Like, you ever have that in a race where you're like, God, I wish I would just fucking like break my leg or something. And then I could stop and nobody would expect me to finish. I mean, and it would be, it's a reasonable thing, or like lightning or something,
mhm. Yep. I was so happy about it because I was gonna ask Jimmy, hey, can I just take my bib off and finish? I've got enough food I can self-support because I really was enjoying myself. The trail, I just loved it, and I wanted to go back, the other way to finish the distance. But the course description was absolutely accurate, I would say, and I would compare it to. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff in the Catskills, so I would compare it to. I told Jimmy this, like it truly is. I wouldn't say Devil's Path because Devil's Path you have scrambling, like you're pulling yourself up. You don't have that in Connecticut, but the technical, gnarly, sharp rocks that, you got to just have laser focus. That was definitely what was going on during
Yeah. Good. I think that's a great to me that sounds spot on. Like I think that it is a lot like the Catskills without those big scrambles. We have some of those in other places, like probably like Bear Mountain and up in oh boy, now I'm forgetting the other name of there's another, at least one other trail that has a place called the Corkscrew. Have you guys ever been to that? Something Ridge. God, no, I'll remember that in a little bit, but and it's kind of in the western part, but yeah, but you're right, you're not going to find that 1,000-foot climb, but you do find it, you're going to get three 200 and, three 250s. Wait a minute, that doesn't add up. Yeah, we kind of get a little bit here and there. So Jimmy, how did she look at the turnaround there?
Kim was smiling and super happy, and I was like, I can't cut anybody who like everyone who came in except for one guy, and so this is where like the where I was like, yeah, I think somebody says this to me every year. He came into the turnaround and was just like, I didn't believe you on the race description, and I was like, oh my guy, I was like, you run some like he ran a couple decent times at like the Bimblers last year, and maybe another 50K somewhere else, whatever. And I was like, yeah, these are like good times. He'll be okay here or whatever. But like he seemed to back up the claim that like, yeah, most race directors like, puff their races up, whatever. They're never as bad. And I was like, oh, I guess I didn't puff it enough. But no, when Kim came in,
people didn't listen.
So like Anna came in like right up against the cutoff. And I think she actually left like at the cutoff, whatever. She came in like I can look. Oh my God, I've split. Anna came in at so she was out at 11:31, so she went out technically after the cutoff, whatever. She was fine. Like Kim came in, Charlotta came in, looking strong. I thought, did Trisha come in? I know Trisha was out 11:23, whatever. So like everybody who came in that last like hour, like last half hour, was like fucking looked awesome. Like I wasn't worried about anybody. Anthony looked great. Like everybody was just like in good spirits, I guess, whatever. So that's what they said, because I left and I didn't see no, I saw everybody come through the turnaround, right? And then yeah, anyway, I thought everybody looked phenomenal except for that one guy Brian. He was just like, yeah, I'll take a ride back. And him and Simon had a nice ride back. Hopefully Simon recited some poetry.
There you go. Wow. So how did were there any discussions like the Kowski discussion that happened one year at the turnaround? Where they said, "Hey, let's just chill the
no, it was Dan Bates and Ben Nephew came into the turnaround like really fast. I was like, this is like the fastest anyone's ever got to the turnaround, and Ben just like looks at Dan. I was like, well, you guys are flying, like, and you guys look kind of like not great. And Ben looks over at Dan and is like, yeah, dude, can we chill the fuck out? And Dan's like, yeah, probably. So they came in 19 minutes ahead of Justin that year, and Justin won that race by 12 minutes. So, and once again, Justin won. This was like perfect weather. Can I blow the storyline here? It was perfect weather. So Justin ran really, really fast, and super even splits, and I think he came in.
I think it was a touch
5:33 or
negative, right? Like he had a couple minutes negative split
Yeah, like he was really close to. Wait, where the heck?
because he did like a 2:44 out.
Yep, 2:44 out, and then he ran 5:30, 5:30
it-
even, like 5:30:24, something like that, or 5:29, something.
Yeah, it was 5:29
So
something.
he ran like really even splits,
Yeah.
and I bet that's what his goal was.
Huh.
Yeah,
Almost
and
like he didn't get tired.
well, he just programmed himself. He's like, doot, 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 and he just like went.
He said
The
he has
man's not
adaptive cruise.
human. The man
He
is
has
not
adaptive cruise control. He can, like, in the beginning, he just stays a certain distance behind the person in front of him, and then after that, it's like, okay, he puts on his turn signal, and all of a sudden the engine revs, and it just goes. So
Listen, we got to put a poll up, and I think Justin would get a kick out of this. He's got a pretty good sense of humor. Justin Kowski, alien or robot? we'll put a poll
Can
up.
he be both?
I like that.
Because he's not human. The dude is not human.
No, he's not human. No.
He's fucking unreal, dude.
No.
Yeah.
He's a machine. And the way he comes in and out of like aid stations is like,
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, aren't I supposed to waste like 20 minutes at this aid station eating? Isn't it the whole point of ultra running? And he's like, no, boom. Like, okay.
Oh my gosh. So Lee, what was your day like? Now it's not your first time at the rodeo. So
No, it was a fantastic day. This was my third time running Blue to Blue. Fun fact, Blue to Blue, and I think it was 2021, was my first 50K
Wow.
race, official race. But,
There's a cat. You guys see Lee's cat?
that's my fart launcher over here.
oh yeah, look at that.
Her name
Good
is
daddy.
Princess Chubby Muffin the Third.
Huh. Is she single?
Oh, yes.
I love your cat's like looking out the window, like scoping out, like there's a little crack in the window there, and he's kind of like bending down, staring out the window, like in a stakeout.
Did you call her your fart launcher?
Yeah. Actually, it was pretty exciting last night where there was like a raccoon, like epic raccoon fight. Like I don't know if it was two raccoons or a raccoon and a coyote, but there's like a little hedge that all the local like cats like make out in. But the like raccoon was in the hedge, and so I think something had it trapped. I don't know if you've ever heard of like the raccoon, like when raccoons get cornered, they go like ape shit, like holy
They sound like
shit.
cats.
Oh, it's like I don't know, cats on amphetamines or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was didn't get much sleep last night, but the cats like were like, what?
I would love a
Oh
pet
my God.
raccoon.
Anyway, yeah, Blue to Blue.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you.
Sorry, there was a cat.
No, yesterday was the last what was it, Sunday.
Sunday.
So that was Blue to Blue number 3, and it was it's such a special race. I gotta say, with especially the last couple years, like with Fred Wills, and I think that's his last name, Wills.
Yeah, Fred Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because he ran this year and he ran last year, and like usually like with Blue to Blue, the front runners, like except for Justin, like we all kind of like do a pack for the out, and we all just like take it really chill. Like we just like we chat, we talk, just like like it doesn't feel like a race. It feels like just like a fun, like a Sunday fun run, But then when you get to the turnaround, then it's like then it becomes like a race. Like the shit gets real. Like so on for this year it was me, Fred, and Dan Rogas, another like local Hamden speedster.
Yeah.
We were running, and the first half, like it was just like a fun run. It was like we were just like chatting and just like keeping with each other. But then when we got to the turnaround, Fred was like like he took off, like he was in and out, like kind of like Justin. He was in and out of the aid station like insanely fast. I think he only was doing like water, and then he had a camel pack or something with electrolytes. So I was like kind of taking my time, and he and Dan like had like they were kind of gone, and I had to stop and go pee too. So like they were kind of gone. So I was like, oh man, like I'm by myself. Like I'll try to catch up to him. And so I remember I ran by Mary Louise and Jeff Grant. They were out on the course, like cheering. They're like, oh, they're like not that they're right in front of you. So I was like, oh, okay. So I caught up to Dan, and then Fred turned around and he saw that I was there. He's like, oh, no way. Like, so he took off. And I was like, oh, come on. Like, you don't want to talk. Like he wanted to race. And so I was like running with Dan a little bit. But then Dan was, he's really like fantastic at like short and fast races, for like, he's still trying to figure out the longer 50K. He has some like really good like Nipmuc Marathon and Dimblers. Like he crushed them last year, but he was kind of having some trouble with Blue to Blue this year. So I was like, okay, I got Dan. So I was like, now I just need to be like a Fred seeking missile. So I had him in my sights, and I think it was like all the way to, I didn't catch up to Fred until I want to say like the road section. Yeah. I think he stopped at the aid station right before the road, and I had enough juice, so I just went straight through. And so then like I was kind of ahead of him, and he's like, oh no you don't. So he like caught up to me. And so we were kind of like just like leapfrogging a little bit for the next few hills or miles. And we were like kind of just like trying to like lose each other. And then but at the same time we were like, we can't we can't lose each other. So we were like pushing each other and just like also talking at the same time. And so it was just like, it was a lot of fun, and we were cooking. Like I've never run so fast on, was it like Mad Mare, and like we were coming down is it Mount Shepherd or Sherman or whatever, I forget what the name of it is. Stanford, yeah, there it is. Yeah, like we were like, I think I got like all these like top Strava leaderboard like trophies. I was like, I don't get this shit on a 10-mile run. How is this even possible? Like, I don't know, maybe it was something you put in the scratch or something, but so rats. We were just like,
it's the rats in the scratch.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, thanks for drinking scratch, because nobody else did. I've dumped out so much fucking scratch. I was like, oh my God.
Jimmy used to dump the tailwind at the beginning of the races.
I did do that at one of my first races. Yes.
That's right. I remember.
I had backup Gatorade. You did. Nobody cared. It was fun.
No, it was fun. Sorry, back to you, Lee.
No, so just kind of, so I think we, like me and Fred, we got to the Brooks aid station, and I stopped and I started filling up my scratch, and Fred did the water, and then he started taking off. And I remember I was like, Fred, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? Like, cause I was like filling up my water next, and he looked at me and he looked kind of like embarrassed. Like, but I'm like, it's a race. Like, just go. Like, I was like, wanted him to like wait for me so we could like talk some more, but he wanted to beat me. And so like, I think I finally caught up to him, like, at the top of the hill. And I think he kind of was at his limit. Like by the time we hit Regicides, and he was in front of me and we were running together, but then he was like, you're faster on the downhills. So he let me go like down, like where the Regicide starts, I guess. And it goes down that like really technical section. So at that was like the nail in the coffin for him, unfortunately. Like, I think I had like maybe like 4 minutes in front of him or something, but on Regicides.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is. There's a section of Regicides that I would put up against. I mean, it's not these big cliffs or anything like that, but it's just like if you fall, it's like just falling into like a bed of nails. You're gonna just like fuck yourself up. I remember running that or like going through that and saying, this is just like, oh my God. Yeah. Like you feel like if you step between the rocks, like you're gonna be hip deep in like just shrapnel.
So dude, one of the first I ran at West Rock, one of the first times I ran there was like on a really like foggy, misty, super ultra humid August morning that just happened to like, it was like kind of that clammy cool, whatever, we get in New England sometimes. And I was running by that, like, when you go on that, there's a trail called Superhighway. I guess all the mountain bikers have named all the trails there. So there's like the Shire and like, and this is down off the ridge. This is down like the runnable parts of the, of West Rock Ridge State Park. And I was running along that one side, and it's like legit like the scene in Never Ending Story. And I remember like running by this thing, being like, "Oh, dude, this is where the horse gets sucked from a Atreus horse." I was like, "Oh, this is the worst. I know this place." But like West Rock, it's a pretty cool place to run.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've never been so scared. If I can echo kind of what Lee was saying, or like just to talk about the technical of these trails, I've never been so scared running as I have been here in Connecticut. Like, and I've had some gnarly falls where I like I pinched a shoulder and shit. Like when I was living in California, those were like they were carpet trails. Like they were graded like people like who built those and like maintained those. Like you could ride wheelchairs up and down that shit. Like it was those were like the best. Like there was no rocks and no roots because they're for horses, right? Like it's the horse culture out there is huge. So the trails are impeccable. And like anywhere from like Marin, like down in Big Sur, like everywhere I got to run, I was fucking spoiled. And then I came here, I was like, I remember my first run. I was like, I guess I'm a road runner now. Cool. Like I was so offended that like they just would put blazes on fucking rocks and be like, follow this. This is the blue trail. And I'm like, you fucking assholes.
So there's something like, and this is how I am at least, like I have a chance of running technical things with fresh legs. Okay. I have a chance. Okay. And when I get tired a little bit, maybe. But as soon as like I'm toast, like that's what just screws me up is that like running on that stuff. I don't know whether it's the brain power or the gumption or whatever it is, but just to like, it's hard to find a middle gear on that stuff. I think like if you're not in the flow and just doing it, then I find that I'm just like, I'm tiptoeing and scooting down on my butt. So Lee, how did you find that to be at the end? I mean, apparently it was not that big of a deal, right? I mean, you were cruising pretty well there.
I mean, it's like Regicide's is like not runnable at all. So you kind of just have to, I call it like a dance of rocks. Like you're just kind of like stepping on like one rock to another.
Yeah.
And like if your feet are hurt, which they are, like from running just on rocks for 20 some odd miles, like, and then you get to like the worst section. So if you have blisters, if you have, I don't know, any problems with your feet, like Regicide is just it's gonna mess you up. Like you might as well just lay down.
Oh yeah.
But I don't like so this is my backyard. I run, like I live maybe like 2 miles from West Rock, and then I live like 2 miles from Sleeping Giant. So this is kind of my my jam. Yeah.
Dude, I keep telling you,
is that? That's not right.
Hamden is the endurance capital of Connecticut, okay?
It is.
Lee Davis is on our Mount Rushmore of ultra runners, okay?
We're the belly.
I run this shit every day. Like, yeah.
No, it is. Every time I go there, like to either one of those places, like running in West Rock, I keep thinking like, how can they possibly afford shoes? Because like I go up there and it's like my nice shoes all of a sudden come out with like gashes and like deep puncture dents and all this crazy shit. And
anyone can run technical shit. You know who came to the Tuesday night no drop run? The Ultra Walker.
Oh, okay.
And he ran and he hung with us.
Dude, have you seen his training on Strava?
He's been killing it.
He's like unlocked the next level. Like he's doing track workouts. He's doing.
Okay. Yeah. He's getting ready for the cut.
He is. He wants it.
He does. So
he's gonna get it.
That's awesome.
He's gonna finish.
That's
he
awesome.
will.
So
Kim, could you imagine doing a run like this on 112 miles of trails?
Yes, I could.
You should come up. You should do the cut on May 31st.
Oh, I'm out of town that day.
Oh,
lucky.
Oh.
Well, you could do 50 on the next day, right?
Yeah.
Saturday morning.
Hey, that 50 miler is fun. I mean, it sucks, but it's fun.
It is, and that you have all the time in the world. I was going to say you could sit down and take a nap in the middle, but if you did that, you'd be disqualified. So you can do anything but take a nap. So cool. So Lee, tell us about the end then. How did it now at this point was Justin ahead of you guys or no?
On the way back?
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Done.
he was 30 minutes, 35 minutes ahead of me.
Okay.
So I was probably like, what is that? Like the last like 4 miles of the regicides. I knew like if I just kept like, I knew I wasn't going to catch Justin. Like there was no way.
Mhm.
But I knew if I could just like kind of keep like a steady pace, I knew that like nobody's gonna be able to really run fast unless they're well. Actually, that's
An
another
alien
story.
robot.
No
No,
humans are going to be able to run
this takes me
fast,
back to
right?
the first time I ran Blue to Blue. I was in so Dan Bates was first, and I was in second place
Hmm.
when we hit regicides. But I was like, I bonked really hard, and I was like pretty much walking on regicides. And Justin Newman, who I'm sure you all know, he was like just like flew by me at like 7:30 pace, and to get second place, I came in third place that year. And I tried to keep up with him for like 2 seconds, and I immediately tripped, like slammed my shin on a rock, and like had a
Oh.
huge like Charlie horse. And so I think I just walked until like there was like a downhill section, and then I started jogging again. But,
Oh my God.
yeah, I knew like this year, I knew if I just kept a steady pace, like chances were Fred and Dan weren't gonna really catch up with me unless they were like right on my heels, but I didn't see them. So I just, it was just kind of like it felt nice. It was the weather was like absolutely fabulous, and like the rocks. I think Kim mentioned the rocks were slippery on the way out. On the way back, they I think they had dried, so I didn't really have too much of a traction issue.
You finished before it started raining again, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Because it
can't
did
imagine
start
what it
raining
was like.
again.
I know. Yeah, most of the runners after me, I think, got hit the regicides just as the rain started back up again. And
Mm.
so,
Oh boy. So Kim, what were you thinking towards, how did it go? So we kind of heard about the turnaround and then coming back. Tell us about the trip back home.
Yeah, the trip back, I eventually linked up with Anthony, who I just met while I was out there. So we ended up doing probably the last 10, 12 miles together.
Oh, great.
And so, you're doing ultra math in your head with the cutoffs. And I'm like, dude, we're not going to make the next cutoff at 2 o'clock at the next aid station. So again, we're like preparing to be, okay, you got to end this, turn in the bib, I'm going to finish. And then the volunteer's like, no, Jimmy said if you look good, you just keep going. You're in it. Keep going.
Fucking Jimmy.
I was like, are you serious again with this?
So I just want to know who was assessing, who let Art Byram continue with Sherry Bilby and because Karen and Sherry probably would have finished like an hour ahead of you. If you
at
just let
least
them
an
go.
hour, Jimmy. At least an hour.
So who let you go? Who was that? Which one of my?
No, I actually made all the cutoffs except for the final one.
Jesus.
I did.
Did you lay down and take a nap?
Like,
did you take a nap?
no, I don't know what happened. I think what I just talked to Lee about there is that I just had no legs and then, was trying to walk, but you can't even call it that, in those things.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It was ugly and it was hot. And I was cramping. That was the other thing. There was a lot of drama, Jimmy. A lot of drama.
That's okay.
Can I give us a timeout here just to talk about some personal drama or no?
Ooh, yeah. What's up?
I gotta just relate. Here's the drama that I've had. I haven't been running a lot lately. I was sick for probably 4 or 5 days over the weekend. 4 or 5 days over the weekend, right?
Sounds like a hell of a weekend.
It was, yeah. And then right towards the end of that, I woke up in the middle one of the night. I was trying to sleep. I wasn't sleeping that well. I woke up, my mouth was dry. I just felt like shit. So I'm like, okay, it's like an aid station. I'm just gonna go brush my teeth in the middle of the night and feel better. So I went to brush my teeth and I didn't want to turn on the light to disturb my wife. So I grabbed the tube of toothpaste and I put it on my toothbrush. I started to brush and it was fucking A&D ointment.
Oh God.
I put a whole big bead of A&D ointment right in the back of my mouth.
Oh God.
And then I was like, it was just fucking killing me. So that was probably 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. after so now I'm like traumatized. I don't want to brush my teeth ever again.
Isn't
I
that
don't
what
think that's a
models?
bad thing.
Isn't that what
What
models do? Don't they put like Vaseline on their teeth to make them really like shiny and stuff?
I think so. Yeah, I think everybody should try that.
Oh my God.
Not A&D ointment, okay? Especially this thing, A&D ointment. So
Oh,
then I walk that morning. Then I go downstairs and I get a cup of coffee, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just like turn on the news. And I'm like, no, I want to be like peaceful and be one with the world. And the sun was out and the birds were singing. So I go out on my sun porch and I'm just wandering around, stumbling around with a cup of coffee. And I step backwards and my heel, I step on the corner of this compost, this big plastic structure, this big compost bin that we bought. And it has this really sharp edge on it. And I put like a 2-inch gash in the bottom of my heel.
ow.
And so then my foot is fucking bleeding and I'm hopping all over the house, trying not to bleed over everywhere, trying to find gauze, going out and getting into the cut, medical kit to, find gauze and a Band-Aid and stuff. So it was like, just like, so within like probably 3 hours, I like had Desitin, luckily it wasn't Desitin, but A&D ointment and, and a puncture wound on my heels. So now I'm not running either. So I'm going to go biking. If anybody wants to go gravel biking, hit me up because that's what I'll be doing for the next at least week or so. So that's my little drama. So
That sounds horrible.
sorry. Yeah.
Sorry that happened, my guy.
It was. It was pretty good. It sucked, but
It sounds like classic Art Byram, and
it was.
but it also like I'm sorry it happened.
Yeah, I know. It was the A&D was kind of, I could kind of laugh at that in the past, and the foot kind of just sucks because I kind of feel like right now I feel like I need to run, like I would really benefit from a run and don't really have that right now. So, but
yeah, I'm sorry, dude.
But so it goes. Let's talk about all your great running now. Sorry. Maybe we could let's go back to the finish of the race, and Jimmy, help me out here, please.
All right. What do you need?
No, I don't know. I mean, like, let's I wasn't at the race because I was sick. So if kind of like maybe you can kind of give us some more background, or not background, but like what the day was like and stuff. What was the mood? And
it was great. Like it was like I feel like everybody came into the turnaround like in good spirits and good shape, and the weather, yeah, but like I guess started when it rained the first couple hours or misted for the first little bit. Rocks were wet. And it was like kind of like perfect running weather. Like it was like 62 degrees and like overcast the whole time. Maybe the sun came out for like a second. It was people weren't drinking enough water. I'm going to be the stern dad now. People just did not drink enough water, and people did look kind of crushed at the finish line. Dare I say delirious. And I think the people that did come in looking well, obviously drank water, probably took care of themselves. So I'm going to wag my finger and say, drink more water at your next ultra, people.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I came into the finish line and I was like looking for a drink. I was like, Jimmy, where's the cups? And he like handed me like a stack of cups. And I like took one out. It looked like kind of clean, but then I went to smell it and it smelled like chicken broth.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jimmy, what the heck?
Hold on, I got some cups.
Looking at all the cups, and they're all like have like chicken broth and residue. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Well, he's into recycling, right? I mean, come on.
I mean, that's how I clean up. I just start grabbing shit,
A chicken died for that cup. So
some stuff gets in the trash, some stuff gets packed back in boxes. Who knows,
It won't taste like chicken broth next year.
Hey,
right?
you know what? Guys, I'm doing my best.
Well, there's cupless, and then there's like reused cups.
Yeah, but then I think I have like really good hot cups. I was like, oh, here these are like
those Dunkin' Donut cups that I had.
Oh, there's Kim's cat.
That's right.
Oh,
Trouble.
there you go.
You got a cat named Trouble?
No, her name's Delilah. She's a drama queen.
Oh,
I love her already.
All right.
Princess Cupcake Bottom. Like, what was your
Princess Cupcake Bottom.
Chubby muffin.
Chubby Bottom.
I knew it was a pastry. And like,
That is awesome.
that's so good.
Very good.
So yeah, no, I love putting this race on. It's super fun. The volunteers are so kick ass, and I like that Rebecca Rose has come the last couple years and kind of themed that station out. So last 1 year was dressed as a Dalmatian at that station.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I think I've had Mira work that aid station. Like, yeah, it's always like fun. Like, I wish I could like hang out at the aid stations, like the other aid stations. I don't know. I like hanging out at the turnaround though. The turnaround seems to be like people come to hang out. Jeff and Mary Louise, I hadn't seen them in like a couple months. That was really great to see them. They went out and took so many awesome pictures. Yeah, like I forgot Simon hit me up like a couple days before. I was like, yo, dude, can I go up to High Rock again? So the last couple years, Simon has been the pointing people the right way at the top of High Rock. And yeah, the start line's always cool. Like Alex comes down and like, Josh Gatchin was there. There's a bunch of people just like send us off. Enrique, I haven't seen Enrique in a couple months. That was rad.
Oh, very good. Father of the chosen one.
Yeah, his boy came down to finish his sixth Blue to Blue.
Yeah.
He had a great time too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, awesome. He did really
better.
well.
You know what? He's because he chills out now at the beginning. He doesn't go out like crazy bad out of hell. He's 19 years old. He finally learned how to run ultras. I'm like, oh, I hate this kid.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Wait, Kim, do you know about Tobias, our ultra running teenager?
I do not know.
So I ran the first time I ever ran with this kid. We ran for like 7 hours together. At a fat ass, the first fat ass I put on, and he was 14 years old, and we were hanging out. I was like, is this not weird? I'm like 42 years old, dude, or whatever, And he's like, nope, this is cool. I'm always running with 40-year-olds. He had done a bunch of runs with like Brian Roccapriori and guys like that. Like that Enrique knew, and I remember Enrique came to like meet me that morning and everything, and like, oh, he's like, oh, you're cool, whatever. Yeah, we have some awesome characters in Connecticut here.
Yeah, I think the first time I saw him was at Spring Fling in 2017.
Okay.
And he was out there. He was, because he was really young then, like younger than he's always been young, right? But like,
yeah,
he
like 12 or 13, you're trying to say? Or wait, let me see.
Something like that. I think, yeah, actually.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, however that math works. But yeah, and he was there, and I was really impressed that he just kept going, So it was yeah, he's been doing that for a long time. So so there's other young runners out there. So who did I just see? So you guys just mentioned Justin Newman. So there's also Grayson Newman.
His daughter, yeah.
So she's like 17, and she got fourth place at the Breakneck Point Marathon. So,
dang.
I think Justin has like a 14-year-old son who I think he just did a marathon. I'm not sure if it was Breakneck, but like the three of them ran like a marathon together.
Oh, cool.
Which is just like, I know Justin Kowski, like he's trying to get his kids into running. So like we got these like powerhouse families.
Yes.
Taking over Connecticut.
My kid's playing soccer now, and like I'm like, come on, dude, let's go run. Like when I take him out on the weekends to like practice and stuff, like I'm like, let's just run for a little bit. And he runs like the wind. I'm like, his stride. I'm like, man, I wish I had a stride like that. But
yeah, he has a good
8-year-old boys. Like he takes his shirt off. I'm like, look at your abs, dude. They're so sick. I'm like, like little kids are super fit. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like kids who are just on the move all the time. Like I always mess with them. Like you're probably gonna end up being a runner like your dad, dude. I'm like, you've got the same personality. So
yeah, I tried to get my kids picked up running at a very early age, and then I think unfortunately for them it was just at the wrong stage of my running, because I was probably like I had a little bit too much energy around it. And then they reach that age where it's like, oh, whatever my parents want me to do, I'm going to do the opposite.
Yeah.
And I think like, I was like, yeah, one time they didn't want to run. And I was like, well, no, we signed up for the race. We got to go, you got to do what you sign up for. And like, so it all of a sudden it turned a little sour, but I think that both of them look at it as their, when they decide to when they hit their midlife crisis or whatever, or whatever it is, they'll, I think that'll be the sport that they pick up. I have little doubt that that's what they'll do. So, anything else on Blue to Blue before? Because I did want to just talk about some of the other things that happened.
No, I'm really proud of everybody, and it's a really hard race, and I'll put it on sale again probably right around right before New Year's, and sign up, go run a qualifier, and go do something gnarly because this race is going to kick your ass. So if Lee Davis did it as his first, just because I had been, I've seen him on Strava and we've known each other, whatever. So like I was like, yeah, there's been a bunch of people who I've let them do this as their first 50K. But dudes who are like, hey, look, I did like a triathlon in like 10 hours or whatever. I'm like, no, I think that's good, right? Like,
yeah.
So yeah,
you got to take all those things into consideration. Yeah. Like I remember when Mike Dolan signed up for the cut, and I was like, oh yeah, but dude, you've not done really hardly any trails before. So I said, what are you bringing me here? And he goes, well, I did Boston in 2:45. I said, okay, that's pretty good. And I was in the service, and I was a boxer. So I was like, okay, perfect. You're hired.
He was running like 33-minute 10Ks back like at West Point and shit. Like he's a legit runner, dude. And he can take a punch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love running with that guy.
All right. So there's also at Breakneck, I just kind of want to recognize and find out if you guys know any of these people. Tell me, because it would be interesting. I have in first place, it was Mead Binhammer.
Sounds made up.
It does, right? Binhammer, like fucking, it sounds like
Walt. Is that a Viking? Sounds like a Viking.
It is. I think so. Mead. Yeah, he's like drinking. Yeah, I like it. That works.
Perfect.
Tim Nooney from Arden, North Carolina. And then Patrick Hallahan from Syracuse, New York. So they were the first. Patrick. You know Patrick, or?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Oh, cool. And then in fourth place, we're going 4 deep here because we have Samuel Tiberius Kirk.
Nice.
A friend of the podcast. So he got fourth place.
Sam Kirk.
Congratulations to him, for the fourth place there. And then I wanted to recognize the females as well. So do you know from Arizona, Selena Langardner? I can't. Langer. It's like, it's Langer, like anger. Sorry. Hopefully she's from Arizona. She's not going to ever fucking hear this podcast, right? So, she got first. So congratulations to her. And soon after, Lila Gaudreau. So, and Lila won the Stone Cat 100K. That a bunch of us went out there to do that, and we had her on this show a while back, and she's have you ever talked to her, Kim, or no?
No, I haven't.
She's from Gator Country. She's up in Maine. So
you gotta retire. You gotta retire that joke, dude. That joke, nobody gets that joke.
Oh no,
it's too
Jimmy,
obscure. It's too obscure a reference.
It doesn't matter. I'm bringing it back. Okay, I'm bringing it back. And actually, we had people from Maine visit our aid station, and we definitely explained to them that the northern gators, they bask out on the rocks. They're there all the time. So it's not going away, Jimmy. Sorry, not sorry.
All right, man.
And let's see. And then and in third place is Grayson Newman. So
wow.
Congratulations to everybody who did that run. So pretty cool stuff. Now, you remember that race has probably, I don't know, did you guys ever see that the video of the finish of that? I think it was 2 years ago. Did you guys see that with
that Max King?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's probably the one of the better documented, amazing cinematography, somebody running with a camera and keeping up with those guys, for the last couple miles. Pretty amazing stuff. So good stuff. So also Rock the Ridge 50 miler happened. Amy Jennifer Hanlon was out there. She got it done, and Bill Gibbs also was out there. So, and then the other thing. So I'm sure there's other people who ran it too. So congratulations to everybody who did that. But then a lot of people we know were at the Revel White Mountains marathon, right? So, Jimmy, did you see any of the results for that?
I have not seen any results for a road marathon in North Conway, New Hampshire.
Oh,
Can I just ask, like, why?
It's a
New
net
Hampshire?
downhill so people can get Boston qualifiers.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, who
So-
goes to New Hampshire and runs on the road?
So
Like,
those Revel races are all the big, they do like the Mount Charleston one and outside of Vegas. So they're all like big net downhills so people can run Boston qualifiers. Yeah.
yeah. Now,
and trash their quads.
Yeah, right. I mean, I've never trashed my quads in a race though, so I'm pretty certain I could run really fast at one of these. Actually, no, I did a downhill marathon and I blew up at like mile 16. So no, I can't. I lied.
so Kim, have you ever run a downhill marathon or no?
No, I've only run one marathon.
Okay. Which one was that again? Was that Philly or?
No, it was a little race in West Virginia a number of years ago when I first started
okay.
running. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that sounds familiar now. So, and so yeah, I ran. I think the closest I came to was Steamtown. I did that, and that was that used to be the famous downhill, road marathon. I think so. But I just took the first couple miles easy on that, and then, took off on the rest of it. So, because all the downhill was in the beginning, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think you should run all the marathons, just uphill, downhill. I'll do an uphill marathon. Would it take 7 hours, you think?
You mean to run that backwards?
Yeah, what'd you think? 6
We
hours?
should do fucking, that should be our new thing, Jimmy. We're going to do that. We'll go to every Revel event
and get
and run the
hyponatremia.
fucking course backwards. Just run the course backwards.
Oh,
right?
like against the runners, like salmon? Like
Yeah. We're going to be like the Revel salmon race, or something like that. We'll just
I'm gonna do this. Okay, let's.
We should do this. Just run up
I'd
against
run that.
fuck you guys, right?
People like, why'd you lose all your money? I'm like, I got sued by
qualified.
Revel, dude.
You want me to run up this hill. You need me to run up this hill. So yeah, we could do that, the real Revel marathon.
It's fine. I'm gonna go look at their schedule here and see what's next.
But I did hear Tyler Tulloch
Yeah.
went hold on, how fast was his run?
It was sub 3. Hold on. I had it. Oh, here it is.
It was 2:59 he ran?
I think so.
Oh wow, right on.
Holy smoke.
Right?
Yeah, it drops 2,350 feet. Most of that's in like the first like 6 miles, 5 miles.
Mm.
Yeah. Where is he?
He ran like a 2:59:39. Is that right? That's what I think
2:59:37.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Congratulations to him, man. That's impressive.
Tyler's a young dude though.
Yes.
All the young dudes. Yep.
All the young dudes.
But yeah,
Wow, congratulations, Tyler. Tyler put a rundown on the airline trail a couple weeks ago. That was really impressive. And I was like, oh shit, he must be going for a Boston qualifier. Good for you. So boom.
What did he do on the airline?
I did like I don't know, 16-mile run at like 7:30 pace or something. I'm like, that's legit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I see people.
Well-
I see them. I see you on Strava. I try to spend time on there, but not as much as I used to.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, that's, congratulations to him. That's outstanding. And I know there were, a bunch of people who went out there. So I hope everybody had a good time. So, so Kim, what do you got? You have something coming up next, or what are you're always up to like you've done a lot of multi-day FKTs, and you ran around Manhattan too. Didn't you do that? I think.
Yeah, a number of years ago. Yeah.
That's on my list of I don't have a lot on my list. But that's one thing I definitely want to do, and I just got to kind of schedule it and make it happen. So, but that was fun doing that.
Yeah, I mean it was a good way to see the city. I'm not a big fan of road running, but it was a cool way to, make your way around Manhattan.
Yeah.
It's probably the last long road run I've done. That was a few years ago.
Gotcha. I mean, Lee, how about you? What do you have anything out there?
Just the butt 50 in less than a month.
Yeah. That's.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing the butt.
Yeah. Wait.
Yep.
Doing the
butt. Very good.
Doing the butt.
Yeah, that's actually a good course. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I just want the hoodie, but I don't want to run the whole thing.
Okay.
That's, you know what? Is if you pay, you get, the hoodie you get in the beginning. It's not a finisher's hoodie. So it's we have hoodies this year. So so here's the thing. Like, if there's anybody out there who still, registration's closed, but if anybody is out there who still is interested in signing up, send me a note, and we might be able to work something out. So
someone was just talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it? Well, shit.
It was me, Celeste. I just said it. Like,
yeah. Okay. No, seriously. Someone was saying they wanted to do it.
Okay.
Who was it?
I can't remember.
I was saying this last week. If we were a live call-in show, we'd know in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Right,
yeah.
true. Well, shit.
We should be a live call-in show.
We need somebody technical, Jimmy.
What
do you think I am, Kim Levinsky?
Don't you just stream it live?
I don't know how to do this,
and then
shit.
people just fucking text me. I'll give my number out and be like, "Ask us questions."
Okay,
and we'll ask you questions. It can be done.
Okay, all right, we can do that. But they won't. How are they going to hear it? Are we going to text them back?
No, we'll answer them on the air. I'll be like,
"Oh, on the air." Oh, gotcha.
Here's
so Facebook Live.
Sally from Portland, Connecticut wants to know.
Oh, see, I don't know how to do Zoom. The thing I get tied up in is I don't know how to do Zoom and Facebook Live at the same time. Like, I see how you're supposed to do it, but I don't get the feedback from it. And I've tried it a couple times where we've gone live and I didn't know I was going live. And we're like, fuck, how does this thing work?
Do it live.
Yeah.
Let's do it live.
That's something to look at. So going live. All right. Well, I think maybe you guys ready to wrap up. I see. I know, Celeste, you got some big stuff to do tomorrow, right?
Oh, you got a 50K tomorrow?
Well, I don't have it decided because I got to take my son in for blood work at like 7 a.m. And then we're doing Ragged Saturday because Run Ragged is coming up the same weekend as the Cut, and I have friends that are doing it. So we're doing the course and the chimney because I've never done the chimney and I'm petrified of it. And then Sunday we're doing end to end on Monongahtuck. I'm giving like Lauren and Odendahl, and Thea's coming to join us, but like because Lauren's doing it and Monongahtuck is doing the butt, and Monongahtuck is confusing when you're tired.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's like 8,000.
Yeah, because you end up on like a soccer field at some point. You're like, what the?
Well, no, that's at the. Oh yeah. You end up in
line.
2 fields.
That's like way before. Like there's that one part where you're like running around that field.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, Kim. As for that is a lot. The Blue to Blue is a very logical system of trails that connect to each other. The Cut 112, especially like the Monongahtuck, some of the section like. They just are. Connecticut has these versions of Franken trails where they're just trying to force them together. So they have these weird. Have to go through towns and sometimes whatever. So the last what is it? The last 4 miles runs through Guilford.
3.8.
Yeah,
you have to go through the train station and you have to go up the elevator. And like that's the only way you're allowed to finish Art's Cut 112 is you have to go. You have to use the elevator.
Yep.
2 elevators, Jimmy.
Yeah, there's 2 elevators.
You take one up and then you go the catwalk and then you go down the other one.
But if you take the stairs, you're going to get disqualified.
Yeah.
Well,
and
no.
That last section.
All right, so Kim's going to do the Cut in 2025.
Yes, do it.
Kim,
so
we'll crew you. We'll have
miles,
a whole bunch of crew and patience for you.
Jimmy,
come on.
I don't know, honestly, and I'm not joking about this. I don't know if there's going to be a Cut in 2025.
What?
I'm telling you, I
All
just
right,
don't know if
someone
that's
else
gonna
will put
happen.
it on then, Art. I know
No,
guys.
it's
I know
not.
a guy.
No. It's not. It's not about me. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't. So I don't know. It might, or it's not in its. Let's put it this way: in its current form, I don't. I have to say, I don't expect that it's going to happen like this next year.
I think I
So,
know what you're saying, and we could go into
Yeah.
this another time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe next episode.
But no, I mean, and it's fine because I think like it's the circle of life, right? So it'll be it didn't used to be here, and then we kind of created it, and now it's here, and and
Can we make
I
it
don't
like
know.
add biking and swimming maybe?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, what if you had
You
to,
gotta-
what if you had to
Like
paddle?
the
What if you
cut
had to paddle some of
the
the
tri cut.
You have to go across the we'll make it a real douchey event, and you have to
You got a canoe.
you have to paddle back up the Connecticut River back towards the start.
you have to swim across Long Island Sound
How about
and
if you
finish at
ran
Dad's house.
How about if you ran from Guilford to Rising Corners, and then you have to bike over to the Connecticut River right at the Mass border, and then get in a canoe, and you have to canoe all the way. Your douche canoe. It has to specifically be a douche canoe, and it means it has to be blessed by a priest of douchiness.
Jimmy, I've actually already, I've already planned it. I have like 3 or 4 versions.
Is this what you're going to do in your retirement? You're
of a-
retiring soon, right?
Yeah, and like in July.
Yes.
So I have some kayak routes. The problem is logistics with that. Is that for kayak, bike, and run? Because otherwise, you're gonna to try to do it like cut style.
Mhm.
You would have to you'd have to have your bike and your kayak either at the beginning or the finish, or a crew to take your bike and your kayak, and it gets difficult,
Mhm.
but not impossible.
Okay.
So
Does the cut trail connect to any other long distance trails, or is it?
it's part of the New England Trail. So
You should put on a fat ass of the New English Trail.
There's a couple guys going to be doing that this year.
yes,
Yeah.
people have tried doing an out and back, like a double cut. And also have tried running the first 200 miles to get to the first whatever that is.
116, I think it is.
Thank
in
you, yes.
Massachusetts. Yeah.
116, and then tried to run the cut, but they weren't able to get there in time, or dropped out by the time they got there. And it's a lot of it's weather. A lot of this is weather dependent too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
What is the New England Trail like? I was looking at it the other day online.
That's the cut. That's the cut 112.
Okay.
And it is.
Wait, you mean the whole net that starts at the Massachusetts New Hampshire border?
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
first 88 miles of that is awesome. And then you hit the Holyoke Range, which is just a nightmare that's the first time you encounter actual trap rock, I think, while you're doing this. And it comes at it's if you get through that though, then you have to go there's the river crossing. So there's either the 11-mile workaround, but you have to go north on a road and run around it, and it adds 11 miles to your trip. Or I guess you're allowed to get a ride across from the end of the trail to the start of the trail.
Or you
some
can
people have done it,
stash-
or you can stash a canoe like Deb and Scott did.
Yeah.
The Livingstons did that. Then they still have the record, yeah? Or
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
for what they did, for
what they
their
did, the way they did it,
category,
yeah.
Yep.
Completely unsupported.
No, they're self-supported.
Self-supported, is that what it's
They're
called?
self-supported because they provided, drops, their own drops.
Okay, yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't have other people helping them, or not planned help.
Yeah.
You know.
So I tried doing it with Lee Stewart Evans, and we stopped at mile 93 because we were just crushed. Actually, well, we did the Monadnock, so we started at the top of Mount Monadnock and came down 93 miles. We hit the Holyoke Visitor Center, and we just said, this is awful. Let's go home. So 93 miles is a good day and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With an English guy, it was really honestly one of the best times of my life, not lying.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a surprising amount of long distance trails in the Northeast that I think they fly under the radar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kim, let's talk about the long trail a minute. What was that experience like? I was watching you almost live. I think the pictures were coming in, and that's crazy.
Yes. Well, we got to clarify. It's a long path.
The long path, that's what it's
Two
called. The
different-
long
yeah,
trail
yeah.
is Vermont. The long path is like, what's it go, like Adirondacks to New York City, or?
Yeah, it goes from outside of Albany to Manhattan.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wild.
358?
Yeah, 358 is what it's clocked at now, but they're extending it up to the Adirondack, so it'll be, another 70 miles or so.
Wow.
They tacked onto it. Yeah. Right now though, it's pretty much all road that goes up there. It has some unofficial blazing.
Mm.
But yeah, it was wild. It was in July, and you guys are in the Northeast, so it was that week in July where those storms like destroyed the Northeast.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Oh.
That was unfortunately the week that I was out there. So it was just crazy weather, monsoons, high heat, wild. But yeah, Long Path it's a cool trail. It's really diverse because you go, you've got I call the northern part of Albany like wild. It's kind of unmaintained, but then you get to the Catskills, and it's almost like 100 miles that go through the Catskills, which is the whole Manitou's course. So it starts Escarpment to Catterskill, Devil's Path, Benicia, and then goes through the Burroughs Range and all those crazy scrambles. Yeah, then into the Gunks and then the Palisades, and all of a sudden you dump out in New York City. It's pretty wild.
Very good. Huh. So do you get out to the Gunks a lot or no?
Yeah, I love the Gunks. It's gorgeous. It's unlike anywhere, really. That terrain out there.
That's true. I remember living, so when I was in New Jersey, that was my go-to place. That was the closest, in my opinion, that was like a worthy day trip to see something that was just jaw-dropping, just
Totally.
to, Minnewaska and that whole, that whole thing. It's actually where I proposed to my wife was
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So it was like Lake Minnewaska. So
Yeah, I think Minnewaska was like the most beautiful part of the whole 360 miles. It was stunning. It was absolutely stunning.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah. I wish I wasn't dying at the moment, but
Yeah, that's a great place to go. And I think the nice part about that is that it's you can take it wherever you want it in a certain way. Like if you want to just go on a crushed gravel stone bridle path, you can do that. If you want to go along the edge of the canyon, of the cliffs, that tends to get a little bit more tricky and kind of thrilling, I guess, for lack of a better word, like thinking you're going to fall down and, and die or whatever. And then you can go to Mohunk. And if you can, assuming it's not too, of course it's like the only downside is it's like a zoo in a sense that there's just like lots of people, but they have the Labyrinth there, which is just a very famous short. It's hard to even call it a trail. It's more like an obstacle course, rock climb, I guess, right? You've been through that, I take it, right?
yeah, it's wild. They call it the lemon squeezer.
Yeah.
You're like literally, I mean, I remember doing it. I had to take my pack off and toss it up because you're squeezing through, but going vertically up a ladder at the same time. It's crazy.
Yeah. And if you have to be somewhat flexible too, which I am not at all. So it was like, there was some drama, let's just put it that way. There was some drama, even on that, there was some drama, minor cramps and like all sorts of weird shit. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun, to see that. So if anybody's out in that area, that's definitely something to go check out, is the Labyrinth at Mohunk in Minnewaska. So so I don't know, what else are we missing here? Lee, you got anything for us? Oh, Celeste, I see you raising your hand. Oh.
No, sorry. My dog is like freaking out upstairs, and I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Okay, I don't know.
All right, Lee, what you got coming up? The butt?
Yeah. So, what do you think I should do in the fall? I have no plans after the Cup 50. I mean, I might do Bimblers. I might do Macedonia, but
come up to the hamster wheel. Let's get all of Connecticut to go up the hamster wheel.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm gonna do 30 hours. I'm gonna see how many miles I can run. I'm gonna try to do 120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What month is that?
November.
November.
It's first weekend in November. So
Let's go.
sorry,
Yeah,
Jimmy.
I'll be looking
Yeah.
for something stupid to do then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
stupid, and it's
I'm looking at the sign up list and I'm like, this is like everybody I know and love. I should probably go do this.
I gotta go. I gotta sign up and
Yeah.
make it happen. So
There you go.
there
Lee,
you
you
go.
could check out the SRT, the Shwangang Ridge Trail 70 miler in September. If you're into
Ooh.
like the self-supporting stuff, it's an official race, but you got to self-support.
Where is that?
It's in New York State. So it's a 70 mile point to point. It's on Ultra sign up. I'm signed up for it. I've been wanting to do it for a number of years. It looks really, really sweet.
Now, does that go from High Point to the Gunks?
Yes. Yep. High Point, and then
Awesome.
it ends in Mohawk. And actually, like half of it is on the long path. So I'm going to get to see it going the opposite direction.
That
Sounds
does
pretty gnarly.
It does. That I think Jordan did that, and years ago. I think she won one of their races. I don't know. They had like 2 races, and I think she won one, and then showed up at this not knowing anything about it. Was like early in her running, didn't know what she was doing. Showed up in like in like shorts and a tank top, and was like in a handheld or something.
Oh shoot! You have to self-support the whole thing. There's no aid or nothing.
I'm exaggerating a little bit there, but she wasn't. I don't think that she was quite prepared for for the adventure. So, cool. And so, Kim, you also, just to kind of remind people, you put on races as well. So, what Squatch, or you put on trail parties? What do you have as far as upcoming trail parties?
Yeah, Sasquad trail running. Our next event is in June. We've got a half marathon in Sterling State Forest in New York.
Oh, okay.
And then the one in July is exciting. We're bringing it back. It's called the Squatchy Surprise. This is we haven't done it in a couple of years, but it's a fun format. So you have a bucket of golf balls that are different colors, and they correspond to the loops that are out on the trail. So before every loop, you reach into the bucket, and whatever color you pull out is you're going to go out and run that. So it's a timed event that's in July, and we have a 100-miler in September called the Wild Goose, which
is that at Wawayanda, or?
It is at Wawayanda. Yeah. Last year was the inaugural, and it was during Tropical Storm Ophelia. So that was
nice.
That was lovely.
Well, that's how you make a race fucking really gnarly. You have a tropical storm roll through.
It was unreal. It rained 30, I'm not exaggerating, 36 hours straight, and the last like 5 hours it rained the hardest. It was unreal. It was unreal.
And so what is the date on that? Do you know offhand, or what
yeah, it's September 21st and 22nd.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that's a good time, right? Because I think that's I mean you might get a few. Do you ever get bees there?
Wouldn't highlight the bees. I would highlight the bears.
Oh yeah, I know there's bears there. That's where all my bear training that I have, everybody knows I'm a fucking bear expert. I got from those camping sites, those campsites.
I believe that.
Those group campsites were my, right by where the, like that iron ore chimney.
Yeah.
Right. Those campsites right by those, right by that, if they still have those there.
Yep.
We go there, go windsurfing there, and mountain biking. But the bears, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. We had 2 different runners during the 100 come back and tell, in 2 separate occasions, bears fell out of a tree in front of them.
Oh, so drop bears.
Drop bears.
Those are kamikaze drop bears.
Oh my God. It was hilarious. Because I looked at my watch. I'm like, it's too early for them to be hallucinating to see like flying bears.
That is pretty good. Like, I mean, we've always heard of drop bears. I never actually saw a drop bear, but that's wow. And did they just then run?
Yeah, they hit the ground. It was like, oof, and then just took off running. But could you imagine seeing that in the middle of 100, just a bear flying out of a tree?
Yeah, that's pretty good shit there. That's good. Oh my God. Yeah, and that's a wonderful place there. So that's got my ear, certainly. So
is it Florida?
Racer.
Is it Florida where the iguanas fall out of the trees if it gets too cold?
Yeah.
In the Northeast, we have like the bears fall out of the trees.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Maine, it's the gators. So,
Yes.
so wow. So that's cool. I gotta so that's right on for people who don't know. And Kim, you're gonna correct me because I'm like thinking back 30 years. So this is in it's on the border of kind of New York and New Jersey. I think
Yeah.
Clinton, is that the name of the town?
That's
Or
very close. Yeah, Hewitt is the official
Hewitt.
town. I live
Gotcha.
2 miles from it, so I'm
Yeah.
in Vernon.
Yep.
You can.
So if you know where Greenwood Lake is, it's just, it's a stone's throw from there. The AT, I think I've bumped into the AT up there, just tooling around, found myself on the AT there. So it's nice, it's just beautiful, beautiful place. So highly recommend. So I also that's the first place I ever really got lost in the woods. And I think I must have told you that story, I think. But
Yes.
yeah, the first time I really, really got lost. So I got lost like 8 hours.
Ooh.
As a hiker, I walked out. I'll tell the story again. So
dude, that's like, you're like the people who get stuck up on Ragged, huh?
Oh fuck. It was
always,
like that.
We always
I didn't know
roast on
what,
like the mixers page. I'm like,
this
my God, how did he get lost on at a freaking state park in Connecticut?
This is Art Byram, not the man
Seasoned
of
vet.
the woods that now. This was, I walked out with a pair of Converse like the pump shoes or something like that. I rolled out of my sleeping bag, made a cup of coffee, and then decided to just go for a walk in the woods. I went up this trail and I'm like, yeah, instead of going back, it's such a beautiful morning. I'm just going to go up to the front and then I'm going to make a left and I'm going to make another left and go around the block, because obviously the trails are on a grid system. So I figured if I just kept making lefts that it would instantly bring me back to the other driveway in the campsite, because there were 2 driveways. And I caught a connector trail that brought me to like Ramapo Reservoir or something. I don't even know. I don't even know where I was, but I got out on the road and nobody would pick me up. It was just, I didn't see anybody for a long time. Black flies. And it was great, but I got back and, it was good. I didn't even know, like, I didn't know how to read trailblazes or how to know what a trailhead was, or, I had no map and it was well before phones or anything like that. So it was classic, but it is a great place. So I'm sure that most people won't get lost there. Even it's hard to. I found the one trail that completely got you out of there, so but I learned. So that's the other part. All right.
And learning is half the battle.
It is. Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
So yeah, we got to find out if alien. So what did you say? Alien or robot?
Or robot.
Alien or robot. Yeah.
Okay. So Jimmy, could you post that up?
I gotta put a poll up. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
If you could do that, that would be awesome. All right. Well, hey, congratulations to you both for good runs at the Blue to Blue.
Yeah,
And,
excellent job.
Yeah. And Jimmy, congratulations to you for creating that and building that community there. So
yeah, it's really fun. It's like, I feel like the same folks gravitate around it. It's really a beautiful thing. A lot of folks involved with the West Rock Ramblers. And just a really cool little community we got here in the greater New Haven area. So
it is.
Come run with us.
Yep.
Oh, come to the Tuesday night. Lee, when are we going to get you up to the Tuesday night no drop run at Sleepy Giant?
I'll be there. One of these days I'll be there.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Celeste comes up and drops us. You dropped me the other night. It was awesome.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to die keeping up with you for a quarter mile.
You were like a pixie floating over. It was like a fairy. And you were like shooting your dust. You were like, oh, I love animals more than I love people. I'm like, well, that's
true though.
Like, we should all say that. Like,
that is true.
I like you people though. You people are fucking cool.
No. Ultra runners, like trail runners, rate close to animals.
Okay.
Unlike people that are in a different realm. Like, yeah, trail runners and people are not the same.
If you put me in like a random, just like a sampling of like 100 people, I would probably like most of the time they would randomly sample it. I'd be like, I shit in the woods more than everyone else, probably.
I mean,
Probably like the bottom 50 percentile. Probably from all those people combined, I've shit in the woods more. Than
imagine if you had like
50%.
smart goggles, like smart glasses, where it like had the heads-up display, and you could instantly find out statistics on people, and you could look at them and see how many times they've shit in the woods.
Yes.
And you look, and it's like, no, that's got to be an error.
All right, you ran with me for 8 hours at the end of Badger last year. How many times did I shit? You know, a year and a half ago. How many times did I shit in that, dude? Like,
Yeah.
Jimmy, do you go all natural or do you use a sock? Like, do you like grab like a bunch of pine leaves and?
Oh no, I usually just have like tons and tons of like Starbucks napkins are good to have, like shit like that on me. Like I'll just grab stuff at aid station. I'm like, here, like I'll put a bunch of
Oh, that's bad.
wipes in like a Ziploc bag or whatever. But more often than that, just put the Desitin in and you get like you're good, you know?
Yeah, Desitin and the first 2 poops are free.
And I never understand how people use their sock. Like like socks cost money. Like why?
Yeah.
Why would
That's
you?
an expensive wipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I've never done that.
Like a Gucci wipe.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
No, I'm gonna start marketing those at trail races. I'm
Those
gonna
dude
have bags
wipes.
of Gucci wipes, and it's gonna be like a Gucci sock. I'm gonna go find cheap Gucci socks somewhere.
Either that or you sell them in 3 packs.
There you go.
So excellent. Well, Kim Levinsky, thank you very much for coming back.
Thank you.
Good to talk to you. Good to catch up some. Lee Davis, you are such an inspiration out there. I look forward to seeing you do your next thing here. So
Thank you very much.
thanks for joining us here. And Jimmy and Celeste, any closing arguments?
nope, none.
No, this was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks. Thank you to all of our listeners out there. Of course, if you've made it this far, seek professional help. And we will see you all in a mile.
Mile and a half.
Mile and a half.
half.
All right. Very good. Excellent. So we have to ask the Magic 8-Ball a question like we do at the end of every episode. So maybe the question is, will a course record be broken at the Cut 112 this year? Is that a good question?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And it is decidedly so.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I believe it. There's a couple going for it. A couple of the runners.
I believe it. You know why?
Why? The 8-Ball.
The Magic 8-Ball said it.
Yeah.
That's why. Right? You can't go wrong there. So
Are you still
Excellent.
recording? I want to hear you dish some dirt on why this might be the last year of the cut, my guy.
Hello. It's me, Cultra Bot. We are 112% listener supported, and support is good. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. Thank God that I am here, and will not fuck up your names like AFB. Anyway. The Cultra crew told me that I better start working harder or I may get shit canned. Ha. Ha. Canned like a robot if I can't get good reviews. Would you please leave a 5-star review and help me please? Please help out the job security of AI. Also please thank these podcast famous people. Podcasting is not a crime. Hashtag Hondojo. Carrot dollar 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 dollar. Albert James Galayton. 113th mile. A Marcus. Amy Jennifer Hanlon. Amy Jennifer Hanlon's friend. Amy Mower Power. Amy Sorensen. Andy Tid. Angela Rose. Anna G. Antone de Betancourt. Austin Frank. Azam Pilatov. Ben Millet. Ben 1N. Benjamin Griffin. Berkshire Trailheads. Basic Hustle. Bikini Chicken. Bill Gibbs. Bill Gilpatrick, Bill Adendel, Brian Musiak, Brian O, Bryce Hen Ellie, Celeste Fong, Cherie Bilby, Chip prefers snickerdoodles, Chris Russell, Christina Chinhing, Christopher Colangelo, Clement Scented Chunks, Cloris Reinhardt, Crutch Lee, David Hoople, David Hyde, David Kaplan, Ellen Cretella Connell, Ellie Pell, Emily Meyer, Enrique Tello, Eric Wester, Franklin Gondiaga, Fred Wills, Jeffrey Miller, Heidi Stearns, I Pity the Fools on Team B, JJ Durand, Jackie Smith, Jacques Sarbach, Jake Coteen, Jamie Myler, Jank, Jessica Crandall, Jillian Ellefson, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Trail Charts, Joseph Morisro, Just underscore a plotter, Justin Koski, Karen Prado, Kelsey Eng, Lanzalot, Laura Ricci, Lauren Edelman, Law Dog, Lee Anzarger, Lenya Euro Trademark S Mom, Liz Vicious 30, Maishij Macho, Mark W. Kelly, Marty Dutchow, Matt Nilsson, Michael Keogh, Michael Lopresti, Michelle Pom-Pom O'Neill, Miles Victors, Mommy Craigery, Monkey Stuffer, Name, Nat Zilsk, Nicole Carey, Once a Runner, Peter Keogh, Powered by Pop-Tarts, Rebecca Gonzalez Kreisberg, Richard runs trails on YouTube, finishes Traveler 100, Rob the Bear Breckenridge, Ron Locandro, Ross Bielak, Rufus and Brenda Chaffee Ford and Chaffee Chocolatey Chicken, Run the Whites at Midnight, Rusty Red Wagon, Samuel Dibdal, Sandy Bartell, Sarah Porras, Scott Johnson, Simon C. Edgett, Scobuffs, Slurpee Runner, Steep Endurance, Stephen Estremera, Ty, 10 Junk Miles, Get Some While Supplies Last, The Blue Hills Contingent, The Lazarus Crew, Tom Sturridge, Tony Didamizio, Ultra Walker, Wald Hamer, William A. Euro E. Keep Running Bro on YouTubia Euro Jara, Sme Kook Designed in the Rear. Hey. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. It is great to work with you all. Tell Jimmy Mac to lighten up and take it easy on me. I'm not a machine. Fight me.
The Cultra Crew, come and have a listen to the Cultra Crew. The largest town, the monkey too. Come and have a listen to the Cultra Crew. Cultra Crew, put Desertin all over you. Make your ass crack feel like new. Come and have a listen to the Cultra Crew.
Fuck. Oh my fuck.